Next month, we'll be receiving our first DLC for Granblue Fantasy Relink, and this consists of a boss fight with an iconic character in the Granblue universe, Lucilius. While we don't know much about Lucilius and how he thrives in Relink, as this entire universe of Granblue is new to people like me who have not played much, if any, of the Granblue Fantasy mobile game, there are some details that we know about this upcoming boss fight, and I'm going to help you prepare for this upcoming clash with another nutcase Astral. Let's get it poppin'. What do we know so far? Well, during part 2 of the Granblue Fantasy Relink showcase prior to the game's release, we saw a brief moment where we witnessed the entire dev team getting wiped due to an opening attack from Lucilius. There are two things that I noticed during that opening sequence that will be very important to preparation against such a boss. First, Lucilius is going to be level 200. Second, if nothing has changed, all of the characters in our party may not receive a level cap increase, leaving us capped at level 100. We've been playing Granblue Fantasy Relink for about 2 weeks, longer if you're on PlayStation, but I think this raid will be our very first test of proper team compositions. What I've been seeing since launch is everyone building their characters simply for high damage. I haven't seen many players being diverse with their builds and building around entire teams within co-op or even resistance against specific status effects. This may be the first hardcore content forcing players to learn the entirety of an enemy's patterns with the risk of being wiped out very quickly. With this in mind, I want to share a few things that I feel players should be doing during their time building their characters in order to make sure they are prepared to take on the level 200 Astral upon release. I highly recommend building some of the tanky characters in the game if you plan on playing on a team with friends. Vayne is a very viable character in various situations, as he has a few abilities that will allow your team to survive the strongest attacks. One of the examples would be his ability Rampart. This will create a bubble surrounding Vayne and keeping players protected while inside of the bubble, also making them invulnerable for a small period of time when leaving the bubble. This could be very useful when surviving opening attacks like the one we saw during the opening sequence of the Lucilius boss fight, while also giving a small period of time to deal damage shortly after the bubble breaks or DPS leaves the bubble. Grandagoza has an ability called Lionheart, which acts as a provoke ability while also preventing his abilities from being interrupted when taking damage. Lionheart also increases his attack based on how low his health currently is. There are various different options that can give the rest of your team an opportunity to put in massive damage against any of the other bosses when built properly. Let's just see how viable they'll be in this situation. Moving on, there are two very specific sigils that I believe everyone will need long term, and those two sigils are the War Elemental and Supplementary Damage sigils. The Supplementary Damage sigil grants an opportunity to deal a second hit for 20% of the original attack's damage, even if this bypasses the damage cap. War Elemental allows all of your attacks to become that of the enemy's elemental weakness. This allows you to play whoever you want while still granting elemental weakness damage to any enemy in the game. To obtain these rare sigils, you'll need to go Kuro hunting and pray to RNGesus to obtain one of these two sigils when appraising your Kuros. I'm 90 hours into the PC version of the game and I only have 2 War Elemental sigils and 1 Supplementary Damage sigil. I've seen many players with more than I currently have with less time into the game, but I thought I'd include this detail so that you know what to expect when grinding for these 2 specific sigils. The next suggestion that I have for all of you would be to grind the Slimepede Maniac mission as many times as possible, which will give you a lot of mastery points for new characters, money, knick-knack vouchers, as well as some items that will contribute to various forms of progression. However, there is a super special rainbow slime in this mission. If you manage to kill a special rainbow slime, you will receive Ambrosia, Azurite Splendor, Damascus Ingot, and 500 knick-knack vouchers. Ambrosia can be used to obtain a load of mastery points. Azurite Splendor is used to max out a sigil to its maximum level regardless of its rarity, and Damascus Ingot raises a weapon's level cap. All of these weapons will prove useful for your grind as we prepare for Lucilius and begin to develop other characters besides our main. Now, once you've completed all of the content within the quest counter, you'll be able to farm both Fet A and Proto-Bahamut. There are 2 very specific reasons why you want to farm both of these bosses. If you're looking for Mirage Munitions, Fet A is a great farm for this specific item, which will allow you to add up to plus 99 to any given weapon. For each Mirage Munition added, your stats will improve on that weapon, making you stronger and giving you more health. You can give yourself a chance to obtain more of them by breaking parts off of Fet A during your fight against him. As for Proto-Bahamut, there are a few reasons why you'll want to farm him, and the first one is the Terminus weapons. You'll basically consider these weapons the best in slot for each individual character. Terminus weapons contain both Catastrophe at level 25 as well as Regen at level 15. Catastrophe provides plus 50 attack and plus 100 damage cap as long as your health is at or below 45,000 HP as a max value. Regen allows you to recover health automatically over time during combat. Another reason you'll want to farm Proto Bahamut is the fact that he has a very small chance at dropping very useful sigils such as damage cap 5+. However, both of these bosses drop Silver Syndrome, so you'll basically be grinding for various useful materials when farming these bosses, so you definitely can't go wrong. With Lucilius being the hardest boss yet, he will set the tone for how players take on this game in the future. Will we be able to get away with simply having cracked out builds and learning basic dodge and guard mechanics, or will this game require buffing, debuffing, skills that provide a level of immunity such as Vayne's Rampart, and will this boss contain a level cap increase for players? We will have to see. Either way, I highly recommend ensuring that you have a few characters built in various different roles in case characters like Vayne or Cagliostro are needed to ensure proper damage is being dealt and proper protection is available among the set of skills for each team. Lucilius should be releasing in early March as the first free DLC update for Granblue Fantasy Relink, and I can't wait to participate in this difficult boss fight live on stream here on YouTube, so make sure you like this video and subscribe so that you don't miss any videos like this or any of my community co-op live streams for Granblue Fantasy Relink. Have a wonderful day, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay chaotic. Peace out, everyone.